had such an interesting life. It's just unreal. We grew up in a small college town down in New Concord, and it's where Muskingum College is. Kids in New Concord were very, very close, and we had picnics, we had hikes, we had ice skating. We were at the college. I mean, we just enjoyed. I just was a happy soul there. The very first time that I realized that I was not like all of the other kids was in the 6th grade, and I got up to give a poem, and one of the kids laughed, and I thought, uh-oh, I am not like anybody else in this room. See, I think I was the only stutterer in town at that time. I was never asked to recite in junior high or high school or college. But I was lucky because I was in a small school where everybody knew me, and I was accepted. There have been some awful things happen. Lots of people would turn away, lots of people would laugh, lots of people would not even want to be close to me. Our daughter will always remember after John's first flight, he was asked to speak for Congress. There was a reception in my honor, and Lynn's and Dave's. And Lynn will always remember some of the people, when they came up to me and I couldn't talk, they would turn away. The way we knew about this place was we had heard Ron Webster, who started this stuttering school. We had heard him being interviewed on NBC, and it was so interesting, and because I had been trying to find some help someplace, and there I was for 3 weeks going through something so different and learning to say each letter of the alphabet. Like the 3rd week, they had us go out to a shopping center, and they gave us assignments, and we had, because that's when I went to shopping centers or went shopping, period, I would hunt and hunt and hunt and hunt for what, because I just couldn't ask. It was exciting to go to a shopping center and I could ask correctly just how well, it's just like a normal speaking person would be talking. Those 3 weeks, we weren't allowed at all to see our family or to call or anything. So when I called John, he cried. And people just couldn't believe that I could really talk like I am talking now. Like it's just unreal what I can do now. It's exciting. It's fun. It's nice to help people too. I get very involved with other people who stutter. John and I have known each other for forever and ever, you might say, which is we've enjoyed each other. After Dad graduated from Ohio State Dental School, they wanted to move back to New Concord, and his mother and Dad moved over there at the same time, and the Glens and the Casters became very, very good friends. So I've known John since we were 2 years old. When we were graduating from high school, we sort of thought, oh, let's elope. And our families, both couples, said, you're going to college. I still have my engagement ring, which John's always wanted to buy me a larger ring. And I said, honey, that thing cost $125, and that was a lot of money then. I don't need a larger ring. Three days after he had received his wings and he was home, we were married. And that was at the beginning of World War II. In our married life, we've moved 33 times. And when our kids were born, and he would go overseas, then I would bring them back to New Concord too, and we would live in the upstairs part of my mother and dad's house. And when he would come home, the kids were, they just were all over him, and I would always show the kids his picture, because I wanted them to remember how he looked, so they wouldn't be surprised when he walked in. Over here, I would drive him up here to the Columbus airport from New Concord, and to see him get on a little DC-3 and head off, and that was really tough. But the Marine Corps I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. We really didn't realize what his first flight was going to cause our country to all come together and be so excited. And we weren't prepared for that at all. It just caught us unaware. First astronaut flight in Friendship 7, I never even heard the word astronaut. I had to learn how to spell that word. I didn't think we should be going out into a God's heaven. I mean, I just think he would never make it back. Then it came time for him, and then his launch kept being postponed. I forget how many times it was postponed, and when it finally came, I was scared to death. I asked him first, because I knew it was going to be the first one. I said, honey, is it okay if I go downtown and buy a new suit? And because we didn't have much money. And lo and behold, he said, why, of course. So, of course, I went down to Garfinkel's, which back then was the most expensive store in Washington, D.C. And I found a suit, which they fitted it to me. I was so afraid that he would never make it back. And matter of fact, one of the astronauts, when he was having a problem, they didn't know if his heat shield was going to come off or not. They called me and said he might not make it back. And then when he did, and then all of the excitement started, and then I hadn't had my new suit on yet. And so when he was going to speak before Congress, I thought, by God, this is what I'm going to wear. I put it on, and I had lost 12 pounds. So I had to get a great big safety pin, which I luckily had, and I pinned my skirt together because it was going to fall off. And realized how much weight I had lost, and because I was so afraid. How did I cope? I knew that John was doing his job. I knew that John was doing what he loved to do, because he really, truly was, he loved it. I would pray every night, and I guess my prayers were answered, because he made it. Plus he was happy. And he was good. He was the best. John and I after his first flight, we didn't expect it to be the news that it happened to be. We just knew that we had to work hard to keep our family, as it always had been, Dave and Lynn and John and me. So we were very, very private. So in going back to Washington as a Senate wife, I had an office in John's office, a small room. I wasn't paid, but I would go over to a gallery and sit up there and listen to what was going on. I would go to his hearings and learn a lot. I would go to other hearings, and I could take things down in shorthand. And I would help with the constituents when they would come in. I would meet with them, and I loved it. I loved it. The part of politics that I honestly, Scout Honor, I love is to meet the people, because you meet all kinds and all handshakes. I mean, just so different. It's just, I really enjoy that. We say it over and over and over again, even now. We say we've had such an interesting life. It's just unreal.